think you've hit it spot on. Couple of observations on these data points. One is that if you look at the heads of state of Germany and China is obviously out of this discussion, but South Korea, Taiwan, so how do they respond? And we don't have to look into exponentially and start predicting how great the response was. The Prime Minister is also the sum total of what the states have done. So when we slice the Prime Minister's performance, are we slicing the performance of Kerala, Maharashtra, Delhi, other states in India? Is also an important perspective to keep in mind, because much as we like to give the Prime Minister credit, as often as possible people do try to do that. I would also urge Rajdeep to also look at how the states have responded.
Okay, let me give that. You raised an important point, and maybe we need to give that point as well. How did state governments handle COVID-19? Take a look at the numbers in the mood of the nation. 20% are saying outstanding, 50% are saying good. State governments handling of COVID-19, 20% are rating it as outstanding, 50% good. So 70% are also giving a lot of credit to state governments. Remember, 73% good outstanding for the Prime Minister, 70% for the state. So state governments also coming out well. Average is 20%. Poor is 7%, very poor is 2%. So it appears, and Ajoy Kumar seems to suggest so, don't give the credit only to Prime Minister Modi, also give it to Chief Ministers. You want to respond to that, Nupur Sharma, that this is being seen as a collective effort where both the states and the centre seem to have worked effectively?
Good evening, Rajdeep, Rahul, panelists, and to all viewers. Now, of course, given that all of us living today faced a pandemic of this magnitude for the first time, nobody actually knew what a pandemic actually entails and how it can affect economies and lives and everything related to it. However, I think I would agree with the Prime Minister that he was looking at cooperative federalism. But at the same time, I would also say that if the Prime Minister did not lead from the front, everybody was actually quite lost. I will obviously congratulate a few states who have handled the pandemic really well. Initially, you remember when the first few cases came along, how Kerala managed it really well, but thereon they lost the way somewhere. Delhi supposedly managed well, but thereon twice the central government had to intervene. Maharashtra has been a big question mark, I would say that. However, in totality, you have to understand that I do know there have been state governments who were adamant on hiding the number of infections, not only infections, but COVID deaths. They had a subcommittee and an overreaching committee from the government who decided whether a patient died of COVID or not, and not of doctors exactly. And you know exactly what happened. There have also been instances wherein you remember there was a lot of laborers trying to get to their home states, and how I can tell you, I have the official figures from the rail department, how roughly 1,500 trains or 1,300 trains were actually demanded by a state of Maharashtra, but some 283 actually went empty. So there have been problems. There have been some issues where politics was trying to be played, which was unfortunate. But overall, I would say, if you were to compare India to other countries, we have done really well with only 10.6 million infections and a 138 crore population. I think you compare it to any country, I think we've done remarkably.